These are 3 common lies that we need to stop believing. The first is that my sins are too big. You don't understand what I've done. I've done all these sins. God will never forgive me. My sins are too big. King David was the most popular king ever. It was said that he is a man after God's own heart. But in one night, he committed adultery. Then he created a conspiracy to cover it up. And when that didn't work, he murdered his soldier. Peter, one of Jesus' closest disciples, denied him 3 times. Paul actually went around having Christians killed. All 3 of these guys are considered to be heroes of the faith. One day we will meet them in heaven. Now, I don't know you, but I suspect you probably haven't denied Jesus 3 times, or you probably haven't went around killing Christians, or you probably did not commit adultery with one of your soldiers and then murder them for not following along the conspiracy. And if these men can find forgiveness and love at the foot of the cross, then so can you. Your sins are not too big for God. But just a disclaimer, that doesn't give you an excuse or a license to go and practice in sin. Another lie we believe is that God is too distant. In another video I made, I mentioned how we put on God what our earthly father was on us. Sometimes our earthly father was distant or abusive or just not present, and we put that on God. But sometimes it's actually our sin that separates us from God. And when we do those things, we actually push him away. But God is a good father, and his desire is to be with his children. The whole purpose of him sending Jesus down the cross is so that we would be with him, that we would be his people, and he would be our God, and that he would dwell among us. So oftentimes it's us who distance ourselves from God, and not God who distances him from us. In Jeremiah 29:13, it says, "You will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart." It is interesting, in the book of Revelation, the last book of the Bible, it says that the gates in heaven are never closed. But in Revelation 3:20, it says that Jesus comes and he knocks on the door of our heart to see if we will let him in so that we can have a meal with him. So it's not God who locked the door on us. It's actually us who locked the door on God to keep him out. So if you are feeling distant from God, then I would encourage you to search your heart and see, are there any things that you are doing that is pushing God away? Maybe it's a sin, something that you're watching, something that you're listening to, or if it's even the thought of thinking that God doesn't want to be with you, that you're not good enough, that your sins are too big. Why would he want to spend time with you? Even these lies that you are believing can distance yourself from God, because you're pushing them away and saying, God, I'm not good enough to be around you. We see many times they did this in the scriptures where Peter, after seeing a miracle, he said, Jesus, get away from me. I'm a sinful man. Like, don't be around me. And another time in Mark, the people, after seeing a great miracle, they said, Jesus, they wanted him out of there. Leave us. So often it's us pushing God away and not him distancing himself from us. And another lie that we believe is that we would never have troubles in our life, or the idea that if God were real, then we wouldn't be experiencing what we're experiencing. But what Jesus actually says in John 16:33 is this: I have said these things that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have trouble or tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. And what Jesus is saying is that it is guaranteed that you are going to have troubles in this earth. Guaranteed. Whoever says that you're not going to have problems, they're lying. Guaranteed you're going to have troubles. But in me, you will have shalom, you will have wholeness, you will have peace. Because I have overcome the world, you can also overcome the world. So which of these lies is the one that is affecting you? And do you have any other questions on how to overcome that? If there was someone that came to mind as you were watching this video, I would ask that you would share it with them, like, subscribe, so that you won't miss any of the videos that I drop. Also go and check out all the other questions and videos that I made in the past. As always, if you have any questions or comments, put them in the chat box. And until next time, peace.